Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and I will be one of the English trainers for this hour. And we will be doing a topic on the education system. So we will look at vocabulary related to the American education system and the UK education system. And then we will have you tell the rest of the class about the education system in your country. It should be a really fun, interactive class, and I hope to see all of you here. Let me show you a little bit about what we will be doing. Okay, so we'll first start looking at some of the vocabulary related to the U.S. and the UK education system, and then we'll look at so we'll practice the vocabulary, and then we will do our best to relate it to your country. Um, so that is the plan for today. So hello, how are you today, Carlos? Hello, Carlos. Are you there? Hello, Carlos.
Hi, hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very good, very good. So are you from Spain or where are you from?
Yeah, from Spain, from Madrid.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent. So what time is it in Spain right now?
I'm actually in Oxford, in England.
Oh, you're in England right now. Okay.
Yeah, in Madrid, next in Spain is 8 o'clock.
Okay. And where in England are you?
I'm in Oxford, and I'm
Oxford.
working.
Okay. And what time is it in Oxford?
It's an hour less than in the rest of the continent. It's 7 in the afternoon.
Okay. 7 in the evening. Hi, Mustafa.
Are you in the States?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, I'm in the U.S.
yeah,
I'm in the state of Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you know where Idaho is?
Um,
Most
yeah,
people don't.
it's in the west of the
Yeah.
states, in the
Yeah.
west.
It's in the western part of the U.S. It's just north of Utah
Yeah,
and just east of Washington and Oregon, and
yeah.
west of Montana and Wyoming.
Okay.
So,
The big prayers or something like that is the name, or
and none of the plains. It's in the mountains. It's in
it's
the
mountain.
it's
It's
in the
mountain.
it's in the Rocky Mountain region. Let me show you. I'm going to show you all on a map. Every
Mm-hmm.
once in a while, I pull a
Never been in the states, so
yeah. Yeah, I had to look at a map of Spain to figure out where Madrid was. So okay, let me show you all. So hello, Anna.
How, teacher? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you, Anna?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Hi, hello, Alexi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, this is the U.S. right here. This is a map of the U.S.
yeah.
and Idaho is actually in this right here. So a part of it is part of the Pacific Northwest region, and part of it's part of the Rocky Mountain region.
Mm-hmm.
And I live right where this I is, somewhere around it. But actually closer to the border of Oregon, about 5 miles from the Oregon border. So it's actually.
It must be cold in the winter.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. It depends. I lived in Finland for 11 years, and
Mm.
compared to Finland, it is not cold. So
Yeah.
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 So I now I rarely wear coats like I did. So Mustafa, are you there?
Hello.
No, you're not there. Hello.
I am here.
Hi.
Hi.
Mustafa, where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
Turkey. Awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome. I
Thank
heard
you.
your children. So you have some kids?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay. All right. Well, tell them I said hello. So,
He is also studying, doing her homework.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
Really good. Where are you from, Paul?
Uh, Now I'm located in Moscow, the capital of Russian Federation.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm at home and I'm slightly exhausted after work, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to for small discussion.
Okay, good. Now, are you so in Moscow it's about 9 p.m. right now?
Now it's 10 p.m. at my
10
on my
p.m.
clock.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mustafa. Oh,
Hey, Carlo, so Paul, I think you have two windows open, one with the classroom and one with the recording.
Mustafa,
So,
here.
So I can mute myself because I am using the external.
okay, that's what's going on. Okay. Yeah, please mute yourself. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. So we have Alexei from the Ukraine. We have Anna from Spain, Carlos from Spain, Mustafa, much better. So Mustafa from Turkey, and then we have Paul from Russia, and I am from Idaho in the United States, and it's nice to work with you all today. Just a brief introduction for those of you who are new to me, who I am new to you. I have been teaching here at Verbling since September, and I absolutely love it. I especially love teaching the groups because you are all from all different countries, and I think it's really fun to compare how life is in different countries. It's just a kick. I started teaching English in 1994 and in South Korea, and I lived in South Korea for just under 2 years, about 21 months, and then I went to Finland for a 9-month contract, and I stayed there for 11 years, and um, I came back. So, Paul, I understand your weather, what you are going through, because I don't think that Finland is all that different as far as weather goes from Moscow. Moscow might actually be even colder.
Not so colder, but it's a foggy city.
Yeah.
And the people say that from Krasnodar, from the southern parts of the country, that there are only 90, not even less days that we have a sun.
Yeah.
Recently the president of Magnet Retail Group visited the economic faculty of the Moscow State University, and I discussed with him why wouldn't he move his headquarters to the Moscow, and he answered, "I care about the health of my workers and top managers."
Okay, so you care because it's a little lighter there.
About this reason.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in that part of the world right now, they're getting very little sunlight. I know that for sure. I came back to the States about 5 years ago, and one of my prized possessions that I got while I lived in Finland is this little boy right here. His name is Alpo, and he's a very rare breed of dog. There's only 200 of his kind in the entire U.S. He was actually born in Hungary, and then he moved to Finland as a puppy, and was helped breed dogs, and he had about 3 litters of puppies in in Finland, and then came to the U.S. and he's got a litter here, and so I think he's now a grandpapa now. So, but if you ever hear barking in the background, he's needing some attention. So that's a little about him. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. The topic today is on the education system, and one of the things that I love about these kind of topics is We learn the vocabulary related to these topics based on, for example, British English and American English. And then you guys, since you are studying World English, you can choose the vocabulary you want to use, and then you guys can explain to the entire group the education system that you have in your country. So so let's look at this. And we have age range of nursery school and kindergarten is 2 to 5 in British English. In American English, we call this preschool. Then in British English, you have primary school from 5 to 11. And in the U.S., we have kindergarten, which is either 5 or 6 years old, and then elementary school, which is usually, it's not really 5, it's usually 6 to 11. And we also have, and then in British English, we have the secondary school, which is 11 to 18. And in American English, we have junior high school or high school. And another phrase that we use in the U.S. is called middle school. And middle school is from about 10 years old until about 13. So it's usually from fifth grade to 7th grade. So let's see if I can add this. Okay, there it goes. So we also have in the U.S. middle school, and that takes actually a little bit from about fifth to 8th grade. So that's either it's part of junior high and it's also part of elementary school. In British English, of course, 18 plus you go to university. In American English, it's either college or university. And there really in American English there really isn't a difference in these two words. They are synonyms, college and university. However, in British English, you have what's called a sixth form college, which is actually a higher level secondary school. And so, and also a college in British English is a college, for example, a college could be maybe a section of a university. And so you might have Oxford University, but then you have something college as well. So the word college is used at several different levels, so it can get really, really confusing. And a rule of thumb, though, is college, like in American English, this can get really weird, but in American English, a college grants BA and BS degrees.
Associate and bachelor's, yeah?
No, just a Bachelor of Arts. BA stands for a Bachelor. Bachelor of Arts, and a BS stands for a Bachelor of Science. And the difference actually is a Bachelor of Arts means you took more language, like languages, and Bachelor of Science means you took more math and science. So that's the difference between those. However, a university will grant BA, BS, and MA, MS, Master of Arts, Master of Science, PhD, etc. So the difference between really in the U.S. a college and a university, if there is a difference, is that a university can grant more degrees than a college does. Normally, there are some colleges that do grant masters and PhDs, but most of the time, if a college starts to grant masters and PhD, they will change their name to university. and that's
Mhm.
kind of the trend.
Usually it's coming of different colleges sometimes.
Excuse me?
Sometimes it's a union of different colleges.
That's
When different
that's
faculties merge between themselves.
that's in the UK.
Uh-huh.
In the UK, in the United States, it's not like that.
Holly, may I
And
ask you
what about the professional schools and community colleges?
Okay, I'll get to that. Carlos, you had a question?
sorry. Yeah. What's the difference between college and faculty? Is the same thing or is different faculty?
Faculty is usually a faculty would be the teachers or the professors.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that some of the universities have, for example, I got my master's degree out of the College of Liberal Arts. So or the Department of Liberal Arts. So sometimes they use college as a department, or like Paul said, a little smaller colleges combining, which is actually how the university system is set up in the UK. Paul asked about in the U.S. I'm not sure about the U.K., but in the U.S. we also have junior college.
Mm-hmm.
Junior college, or what we call also the community college system.
Mm-hmm.
And in those colleges, that's usually the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree, and there you can get an AA, which is an associate's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also you can go through certificate programs. So if you want to be a licensed practical nurse, an LPN, or a nurse's aide, you can just go to community college. But if you want to get your registered nurse, you would have to go to university or a regular college. So there are examples of colleges that are at university level, but they retain the name of college. For example, if you guys have heard of this college, Boston College, it is a very prestigious college, a very prestigious university, but there's already a Boston University, so they didn't change their name. All right. So let's describe the education system in your country. So, Alexei, can you tell us about the Ukraine?
Okay. In Ukraine, we have uh, preschool education with kindergarten. Kindergarten. It's in age 1 year, 2 years, or uh, 6 or 7 years old children have to go to the kindergarten. After that, they go to secondary school. To the age, I think, 16 or 17 years. And after that, they can go to university or academy and take a
Okay. So, an academy.
academy, yes.
Okay, academy, or we could call that a trade school as well.
Academy. No, it's not referred to trade school. It's like more like an institution.
Okay. So it could be academy then, yeah.
Yes, trade school is like a college.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's different in every country. Now, question for you: you said from age 2 till kindergarten is usually used for kids who are learning to read. So, but age 2 to age do you have miss a primary school level, or is it all these two levels the same?
In our country, it's a similar meaning. In the kindergarten or in nursery school, our nurse learn to read and write our children.
Okay. Is there a primary school as well, or an elementary school?
We don't have any this meaning in our country.
Okay.
We have only secondary school.
Okay. And that's another word for that. Possibly you could call it comprehensive school. And comprehensive school is a British English term. It's actually used down here, and I think that's when I was in Finland. That's what they would call their school from age 7 until age 13, age 14. They called it comprehensive school, and they had different levels of comprehensive school.
It's sponsored by the government, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, and we'll go over some about that too, because there's some between British English and American English. There's a little bit of vocabulary differences as well. Okay, thank you very much. All right, and Ter, hello. Where are you from?
Hi, Teacher Holly. How are you?
Hi,
You here?
very good. So welcome.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Ter?
I was with you before, but I think you forgot me. I'm from Iraq.
Iraq, okay.
Yes, okay.
I'm sorry. I probably did. I have people from all over the world.
No, it's
yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, and then welcome, David.
Happen always.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome, David.
Hi, Holly. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things, you guys, that I'm doing, my mom asked me to do this. Starting December 1st, I started writing down all the countries that you guys are all from, to see how many nations are actually represented in my classroom. And so ask me at the end of the month, end of December, what my final count was. But as of today, the count is 31
nations.
31 countries.
Oh, a lot of countries.
Yeah. Yeah. So do ask me before the new year, Holly, what was your final count? So yeah. All right. Anyway, well, welcome, David and Ter. So, Carlos, could you tell us about the education system in Spain?
Yeah, I'm not pretty sure because in Spain, the politicians they are always changing the educational system. Every different government makes a lot of changes. Yeah, and when I was in the high school, it was very different, like it's right now, and I have to check it on Wikipedia to have clear what the states are right now in Spain.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, we are different. And basically, there are like 4 big stages. The first is between 1 year to 6, and it's a kindergarten, or it's in two stages, 2 different stages, 1 to 3 and 3 to 6.
Okay.
And it's like the nursery school and kindergarten, but in two stages. And after that, there is another stage called primary education. It's there are 6 years of that period, and after that it's another stage is 4 years. It's the secondary school. It's mandatory for every child. And after that, the next stage is let me check. I think the secondary school is until 16, and then it's optional to take 2 years of like pre-university education. It's like a baccalaureate or something like that. And after that, after the 17, the 18, you can go to the university or not. Depends
or
if you
job.
are interested on or not.
Are there different levels of university as well? Like,
I think in the European Union changed the system in the last 4 years. It's they are trying to unify all the countries, France, Spain, blah blah, every country.
wow.
And there is a basic degree of 3 years, and there are more degrees of 5 years or 4 years. It depends. It's for me it's very confusing. But
Okay.
when I went to the university, I studied for 5 years, but we have different degrees, and you can study for just 3 years. But it's a lower level of qualification.
Okay, yeah. And I'm learning. I've learned years ago that like say for example in Finland where I lived, a master when you go to if you say you go to university, that means you're getting a master's degree. Where in the Finnish education system they actually skip this part, the bachelor's degree. They just go straight on to the master's at university level. So, yeah, I find that each country is different, and it's really really difficult to really know at this level what.
Yeah. The European Union is making a big effort to unify the different educational system in the university level. But
do you think they will be successful?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least in most of the countries, the same. If you are studying, for example, medicine in Portugal or in Italy or in France, it's the same number of years to get the qualification and practice like a doctor, as a doctor.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Yeah. Having lived in the European Union for as long as I have, I wonder if they'll be successful at it, but it'll be interesting to watch. So excellent, thank you, David. Could you tell us about Colombia? How is the education system in Colombia?
Yeah, sure, Holly. Well, we also have the primary, the secondary, and the superior education, like universities and college. I think most of the kindergarten and the primary is the same, like the other countries. Well, we also have private and public education. The government is mandatory to take the primary and secondary school, and for this reason they subsidize the education. So there is a public education, but there are other ways like private schools or schools that emphasize in religion, yes, with prides. Some schools difference about universities. When most of the teenagers finish or end the normal school, the college the university is they don't have so much opportunities to have this education because there are a few public universities here. So most of the people that study here is because they pay money for private universities.
Okay, so there are state universities or public universities, but most of them are private.
Yes, the public are very few, very few. So
are they
it's a big problem.
for the people that go to the public, are they usually the best students?
Yes, and they have to present tests, and most of them are the best grades on the country.
Yeah, and in the U.S. it's completely opposite.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay, Mustafa, can you tell us about Turkey?
Turkey is mixed system between British and American.
Mm-hmm.
3 years until 6 years nursery school, kindergarten, and 6, 10 from 6 years and 10 primary school, and 11 and 14 junior high school also.
Middle school.
Yeah, junior high school. From 14 to 18 high school, and then people can go to university after getting a national exam, entrance exam. This exam occur 2 level. You can take 2 different exam and then comprehensive exam. And if you get good grades, you can top and good universities. There are over the 180 university. There are 180 university in Turkey. Most of them belongs to government, and about 80 university are private. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it similar to Colombia in that do the best students go to the private schools or do they go to the public schools?
No, just 4 and 5 private universities are have good grades and good levels. So most of them are not good. So.
Okay. All right.
It's a mix.
It's a mix, yeah. Like for example, in the U.S., a private university are like, for example, Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Stanford are all private universities, and they're of course considered the best. So we have different tiers of private universities. Some are really good, and some are not as good. And the state universities also, it depends on the state and depends on the administration. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Most of students, if they don't get good grades and they have money, they go to private school. So private school is not good level. That's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Paul, tell us about Russia.
Well, our system is approximately the same. Well, I could well. Let me put it this way. It would be more interesting for me to discuss what subjects your children of your country, in your country or in my country, study usually. What's the difference? It's pretty hard to say because it's more important to discuss the consistency of the educational system. Different schools, different methodologies. In the time lapse, you could say that you could cut the high school by half because our children usually start their period of, I don't know how to say, the period of study. Is it correct to say?
Yeah.
Yes. Their period is of study approximately the same. Something first 3 grades they're in the primary school. After that, it takes to educate them in the middle classes, something like between in some schools it's fourth grade, and sometimes they go to 4th grade, and sometimes they go to the 5th grade. Skipping the 4th. And on some level they can change schools to the Lyceum classes. I don't know how to. Lyceum, yes. French word. Or so it's a special schools for the how to say it. Gifted child. Gifted child.
Gifted children. Okay. Or you can say honor student as well. Another.
Yes. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade usually. And after that, they use pre-university preparational classes, or they take some programs after Lyceum, and they go to the university. And it also depends because in what way they would like to be developed more, in the engineering way or more in the humanitarian way. It depends. And I'm glad to see that some companies also take responsibility for preparation, like Yandex or Google or many other companies with the wide world, which offices are spread all around the country or all around the world. They also interest to prepare good how to say personal or skilled personal people who will work in the company.
Now, is Russia similar to some, like for example, pretty much everybody I've met in Latvia work and go to school at the same time. They work a full-time job and then they go to university in the evening. Is that similar in Russia?
No, because we have a limit of age to. After that, you're allowed to work. After 16 years old, usually.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can combine this, but if you learn or study at the university, it is if you have a good university, really good university, it fills all your time.
Okay. Really. It takes all of your time.
It takes all of your time, and there are no time to work.
Okay.
Because if you do, if you'd be the engineer, but if you're a scientist, the future, the scientist in the future, the potential scientist, it needs more time to immerse yourself into the deep mathematical structures, into the different approaches to the education, and so forth.
Okay.
In the Moscow State University, it really takes more time. I know people from this university, from the students from this university. It's really hard to study in that place.
Okay.
And combine it with work.
You can't. Yeah, and I think that does depend on the country or even the university whether people are able to combine it. It seems that I've talked to people from from some countries where they are actually able to work a full-time job and go to school full-time, and the school or the university actually caters to that type of student. So yeah, and I think in Finland it's very similar to what you said, Paul, about university. Most people do, when they're in university, they do not work.
Yes, it depends on the density of your how to say of your employment or occupancy. I don't know what's better for this.
I don't know either. That wouldn't be the right word. There's a lot of things it depends on. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
The density of the program, let's say it better.
Okay. Now I found one of the things that Paul said very interesting. He said, yeah, a lot of the schools are very similar. Pretty much everybody starts out more or less around the same time. They end around the same time. But it would be interesting to hear about what subjects everyone studied, and I actually agree, because I was blown away when I was living in Finland about kids who were in middle school or equivalent to middle school taking physics, where I never took physics in the entire 24 years I've been to school. I've never taken a physics course. So how about? So I'm interested for you guys, everyone. What year does a typical student in your country start studying language? So David, in Colombia, how old are kids when they start studying English?
English? Oh well, Holly. Nowadays is very fashion that the colleges that are private offer bilingual education, like English like a second language, and they tell the parents that the kids are going to receive most of the classes in English, but for example, my sister, my sister, attend this kind of schools that are expensive here because it's supposed that it's bilingual, but actually they don't learn too much. Is the level is not enough to say that they are going to be bilingual or more or less. No, is the level is a little bit higher than the normal, but it's different. It's not the level is enough. So I think they are taking advantage of the parents that believe that their kids are going to be bilingual just when they had the degree in secondary school, but it's not the truth.
Okay, the truth, yeah. I know that like Canada gives very good bilingual education. We have a bilingual school in my county, and I have heard good and bad things about it. And bilingual, it's between Spanish and English, and so some people say it's almost all English, and some people say it's just not good education. So it just depends. So yeah, Alexei, how old are people in the Ukraine? How old are people when they start studying English?
How old?
Is it fifth grade or to age 11, 10, or is it 14?
My son started learning English in age 5 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite.
Yes, he very likes English, and I every time try to learn with him new words, and she like study English.
Wow. Okay.
But I want in future he study in English in other country like United States or in Canada, and he rates and take education in other countries.
Yeah, that would be great. And you know, even if he doesn't go to an English-speaking country, his English will improve. So, say for example, if he ended up in China, so for example, he would still improve his English because the other that would be the language that he would be communicating in. And so, and nowadays the trend is world English instead of U.S. English or UK English. So, yeah, cool. I hope. How old is your son now, Alexei?
Hold on, I have one question.
Yes.
What do you think about study English in other countries, not in your native country in English speaking environment?
Well, I think it depends on the motivation of the student. For example, I think that if you're going to study English in order to improve your fluency, you can do it online just as well. But if you're going to study English in an English-speaking country in order to experience the culture, and you can, in order to meet new people and learn more about the language, that is a very positive thing. I'm not really a big person. I'm not sure that a person can increase their fluency in, say, for example, a 2-month comprehensive class in the UK. Especially if they're kids. But say, for example, one of the things that I saw when I was teaching at university when I was in Illinois, we had an intensive English program, and we had kids, usually they were 18 plus, they were between 18 and 25, and they would come for 6 months to a year, or maybe even a couple years. Some were trying to get into university, and some were just came to take a year to improve their language. And what happened was they would become friends with kids from their own country, and the only time they actually spoke English was in English class, even though they were in the U.S. So when it comes to something like that, if the person is staying in, for example, in a UK home or an Australian home or an American home, like as a foreign exchange student, that actually makes more sense than if you go to a language school. I'm not a big believer in it, but just because of what I saw, I didn't see that the kids really improved all that much. They did, but they didn't improve as rapidly as they could have if they were only around people from countries that could not speak their own language. So I guess what I'm saying is be careful. Make sure that if you do send your child abroad to study English, make sure that he's not with other people from Ukraine, so that he does speak English and he does improve. Does that make sense? So.
Okay, thank you. It's a good example.
Yeah, I have all kinds of opinions about that one. So, all right. And Paul, tell us, when do people in Russia start studying English?
Well, it also depends. Again, it depends on the specialty. In my class, when I came to my school after preschool classes, it was at the first and the second grade.
Wow.
The was after that point. And but because my childhood was at the 90s, early 90s, when it was not the best time in the Russian Federation, and the government was formed, and sometimes was some fluctuations in the economy. Some teachers ran away, and sometimes they came and ran away, and so forth. And well, I wouldn't say that it was a good experience in school. by my opinion, even when you had to learn English in school, it's not effective because you don't know where you can it apply to.
Mm-hmm.
And you need the source of information, but your hunger for grasp.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, for me, I work in the internet informational technologies area, and there are a lot of information in English there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a consumer of this information, and I
Mm-hmm.
have an ability to apply my knowledge of language to my area.
Mm-hmm.
Usual, usual child, how to say, usual kid have no idea where to apply its knowledge.
Okay.
If you have
Yes.
the school where you can apply it, for example, the school that have a pre-university classes, then yes, they can prepare potential students to the university in which they are cooperate together. And in other schools, I mean, comprehensive education, yes, it couldn't be effective. So,
Okay.
I mean, where, for what door you are trying to open, and for what information you are trying to reach.
Oops.
So the modern learning of English is also the big question, because as a teacher, you know that there are different methodologies, communicative methodology, or I don't know how to say,
Yeah, there's many.
translatable methodology, when you learn a lot of a lot of vocabulary and a lot of how to say, different phonetic rules and so forth, instead of just practicing dialogues.
Dialogues.
Dialogues, yes.
Yeah.
In class, and there are different goals. If you're preparing a professional translator, or how to say, let's say interpreter, yes, or interpreter, it's one way of preparation. If you're preparing engineer, it's another way of preparation. It's everywhere, I think, not in Russia.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Carlos, how about in Spain? When do people start studying English?
The thing is, the people start at 6 years old.
6 years old, okay.
Yeah, but it's not a very good level, I'm afraid. Yeah. In some regions, there are bilingual schools, and they are funded by the state, most of them. And but the best level you can get after the primary school is by going to a private school, and it costs a lot of money. So 90% of the people goes to public school, and that's why we are not very good with languages, with English.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are trying to improve.
Yeah, I think Spain's doing a pretty good job. So,
yeah, if you compare with 20 years ago, we had some improvements.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, thank you. Mustafa, how about in Turkey? When do people start studying language?
Until last year, people start after 10 years. But last year, the system has changed, and second class of the primary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so much earlier.
But education system is not good until, for example, I have started to learn my secondary school. When I finished my university, my speaking level was not good. I learned my English on the private courses, and I did some private lessons like. So the education system is not good. So all my learning during university and before university, they taught me simple present, simple past, and grammatic, but people can't speak very well. So now we are investigating some new system to improve the good teach to people.
Yeah, so that the kids don't have to go to the private academies like they were like they do now. Okay. All right. Right. Let's quickly do this next exercise. I went ahead and posted the link to this material because it's great. It's great. I'm glad you all have a lot to say, but because of that, we're not able to get through all this material. But this is some vocabulary. We've got A levels, public, comprehensive, revise, majors, school, principal, and sit. So let's see if we can use these words. Let's start. Paul, can you read number 1 and put in the correct word?
The term comprehensive school has opposite meanings in the UK and US. In the UK, it refers to a private independent school. In the US, it means a school that is funded by the state.
Okay, it is not comprehensive school.
It's public.
Public, yeah.
Public,
okay, and one thing that's interesting about public, this in the UK, a state school is one that is funded by the state. In the U.S., except if you talk about state university, that is universities funded by the state. But in the U.S., if you talk about a state school, it's a mental hospital. So in British English, a state school is a public school or a publicly funded regular school. But in the in the U.S., a state school is a mental hospital. So be careful about using the word state school because it's not always considered the same. Does that make sense? So
yes. But I looked for the translation for comprehensive school, and I see the same explanation as for public school.
Yeah, my understanding of comprehensive school is how we used it in Finland. We use a comprehensive school from age. They did it, for example, in Finland. This is a Finnish system. The comprehensive school was from age 7 to 15. Which is very similar to how Alexi described the UK. So comprehensive school could still be a public school, but the United States does not use, the reason that this answer doesn't work is the United States does not use the word comprehensive school. It's not it's not in our vocabulary at all. So if you use the word comprehensive school with an American, they might ask you for clarification. They might say, "What do you mean by comprehensive school?" And then you can say, "Well, it's the core. It's the school where you go from age 5 to 15 or 5 to 16." And then they'll go, "Oh, okay, that's elementary, junior high."
I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. Now, in the number 2. Alexi, could you do that one? In the UK, a
comprehensive school.
Yes.
Refers to a typical state secondary school.
Yeah, so in the UK, a comprehensive school is secondary only, where in Finland, for example, it's age 7 to 15. In the Ukraine, it sounds like it's also very similar to the Finnish system. So it depends. Okay, and Carlos, could you do number 3?
Yes. In the UK, the school leaving exams are known as A levels.
A levels, yeah, and that's it. There's also something called O levels, and I'm not actually sure what it is, but there's A levels and O levels, and in the U.S. it's just a high school diploma. We don't have a school leaving exam in the U.S. Okay, number 4, Mustafa, can you read that one?
In the U.S., the person in charge of high school is majors.
No, it's actually a little bit different. It is a principal.
Yes.
Principal. Okay.
Head teacher or headmasters. Yes.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, so a head teacher, headmaster, headmistress. That was new for me until I moved to Europe, and then I learned that. So, okay, number 5. David, could you read that one?
Yes, Holly. At American University, a student studies or
I'm helping you out.
Okay, or majors in a subject.
Yeah, majors in a subject. So in the U.S., you might ask somebody, what is your major? Or what are you majoring in? And the person will say, I'm majoring in pre-med, or I'm majoring in a business, for example. Okay, number 6. Alexi, can you do this one?
Okay, when preparing for exam, students in the UK revise what they have studied in the US. They review for an exam.
So that's the difference between the two. And in American English, if you revise, that means you're editing your paper. You're changing your paper. Okay. Number 7, Paul.
Okay, my turn. In the UK and the US, students take exams. However, in the UK, they can also I don't see the word revise.
No, it's not revise.
Not revise. Because the revise is okay. Sorry. I don't see the word after the gray.
Okay, I'll help you out. It starts with an S.
Sit.
Yep. So if they sit an exam, they're taking an exam. So also in the U.S., Americans can use the expression "go to school" even if they are at university. So, all right. And so I would encourage you, if you find this information interesting, go ahead and download the material, so that you can. I believe that the answers are at the back of the material as well. I want to thank you for your participation, and I hope you learned some new words and phrases that you can use in your as you use English. And thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later. And it was nice to meet you, Paul and Carlos, and Mustafa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you. Bye bye.
See you later, everybody.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.